Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Vicar's Devotional. I am your vicar, Mother Sandy. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning, February 3rd, and it is actually in the 60s here in Florida, which I know to the rest of the world, it's spring. For Florida, we've had the 30s and 40s, and in some areas, the 20s. And y'all, Southerners don't know what to do with that. Especially when you're in the Florida part of the South, which I know, again, not really part of the South, but I digress. It has been kind of chilly. Today it's gorgeous. But today, the reading that I selected from the daily office was actually selected and set aside for what we call the lesser feasts and fasts. And what that is we have a ton of folks in the church, in church history, that have been models, have really given us an idea of how to live, how to serve, how to keep going, right? And I think that we need that, especially when we look at the world around us. We need models of how to keep going. So today, in Lesser Feasts and Fasts, we celebrate Ansgar, also called Oscar. Ansgar was a bishop and a missionary to Scandinavia. And there's a reason why I selected this. It's not just because it's Ansgar, but my heritage is from Scandinavia. My family on my mom's side was from Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. So I feel a connection to Ansgar because of that history. And so you're going to hear a little bit about him in our reflection when I get there. But this is the gospel that is connected and partnered with this feast of Saint Ansgar. And it's taken from the Gospel of Mark. It's the 6th chapter, verses 7 through 13. And it says, "And he called the 12 and began to send them out 2 by 2 and gave them authority over the unclean spirits. He ordered them to take nothing for their journey except a staff, no bread, no bag, no money in their belts, but to wear sandals and not to put on 2 tunics. He said to them, 'Wherever you enter a house, stay there until you leave. If any place will not welcome you and they refuse to hear you as you leave, shake off the dust that is on your feet as a testimony against them.' So they went out and proclaimed that all should repent. They cast out many demons and anointed with oil many who were sick and cured them." So why that gospel? Why for Ansgar? Why is it important today? So Ansgar, as I shared, was a bishop and he was a bishop and missionary. And actually he was sent out by King Harold of Denmark. I believe that's what I read. What I know about Ansgar, and he lived in like the 600s, not 800s. So long a time ago. And if I was better at church history, I probably remember numbers better, but I'm also working on what we call the parochial report, and numbers right now are making my brain ooze like oatmeal. The point is, Ansgar, bishop and missionary, was sent to Denmark, was sent to Scandinavia to convert, to baptize, to do exactly what the Gospel of Mark's reading tells us. The takeaways, he got to Hamburg in Germany, and he did not find that much success. He did not convert many. In fact, the Northmen, the Vikings, invaded where he was and burned down the church that he built, right? And we know the churches in Germany, huge. In fact, one of my favorite churches is a cathedral in Cologne. And those churches, when you walk in, they really are life-changing. So I understand why he might have had feelings. But when he was told about this, his reaction is what we need to hold fast to. Because instead of going, oh my gosh, I should probably stop doing this and leave and give up, he quoted Job. And he said, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." And then he kept going. He kept evangelizing. He kept sharing the gospel. He didn't stop. And it took about 100 years after his death for the seeds he planted to grow. Why is that important for us today? Go out your front door. Watch the news. We are in We have been. I mean, this is, the more things change, the more than stay the same. The world is hard. What we plant, our faith wise, we don't necessarily see the fruit right now, but we trust. We trust that what God is calling us to do, God will bring to fruition. It may not be in our lifetimes. It may not be in our children's lifetimes. It may be 3 generations down the road, as in the case with Ansgar. That doesn't mean we don't do it. It doesn't mean that we don't have faith. We don't have hope. The reason we have hope is because we have Christ. Christ is the hope. My friends, in this time, in this space, there is a world that needs to be reminded that we have hope, that hope exists and hope will prevail. And so we step up, we step out, and we tell those who are feeling and being told that they're not worthy, they're not lovable, they have no dignity. In fact, it's not even just being told, they're being treated like they have no dignity. What is one of the vows we make at our baptism and that we renew is that we see Jesus Christ in all persons and treat everyone as they have dignity. So go out and treat your neighbor with dignity, love them, plant seeds of the gospel, and trust. You may not see it today, you may not see it tomorrow, but that it will come back. The promises of God come back in full. And so as we celebrate Ansgar and that model of just continuing to keep on keeping on, may we too continue to spread the love of Christ to the world around us, a world that desperately needs to be told it has worth, it has dignity, and it's worthy of love. Have a beautiful day. I will see you next week. And this is a Vicar's Devotional. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next week.